Good day, all, and welcome to another edition of Local Legislator Live at 11. I am your host, Charles Gates, and welcome to, there you go, Glenda, how are you?
Good, thank you.
All right, we had lost you for a moment. Welcome to another edition of this special edition of Local Legislator Live at 11, where our mission is to be the premier source of local election information in the United States and an advocate for the sustainability of local businesses nationwide. We do have a special treat for you today. We've got a host of people, movers and shakers in the Hampton Roads community, far and wide, from the top of the Hampton Roads to the bottom of Hampton Roads, in the middle, and everything in between. We've got none other than the participants of the AXO program. I am not going to tell you what that means. I'm going to let them tell it like it is. This is a raw interview, and some of our people here, I know Jaimir, you are, where are you?
Currently, I'm at home, but I'm going to the illustrious Howard University, and I'm an AXO alum.
All right, great. And Jalen, where are you?
Hello, I'm also at home. I'm going to the illustrious Spelman College, and I'm also an AXO alum.
Well, go ahead with your bad self. And Amirat, where are you?
I'm at home also, and I'm going to Kempsell High School in GSA next year.
Okay, where's that?
That's in Virginia Beach and Norfolk.
Great, fantastic. And for our experienced members, hello, Sylvia, how are you? And what is your role?
I am quite well, thank you, and it's an honor being a guest on your show. I am actually the chairperson for Norfolk AXO.
Okay, great. And Mr. Reggie Fox?
Hi, I am happy to be here this morning, and I represent the York, James City, Williamsburg NAACP chapter and AXO chair.
Fantastic. And Glenda Braswell Moore?
I am the Area 2 AXO co-chair and also co-chair for the Chesapeake NAACP AXO branch.
All right. And rounding us up is none other than Lynette Wilson.
Hello, everyone. I am Lynette Wilson, and I am the Area 2 NAACP AXO Chair. AXO stands for Afro Academic, Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics. We call it the Olympics of the Mind. AXO was founded in 1978 by a journalist by the name of Vernon Jarrett. At that time, he knew that there were other things that African Americans could do other than sports. So he went to the NAACP and asked if he could present a program that he had. Back then, there were only 4 or 5 units, and it has grown up to now 32 categories that range from the visual arts, performing arts, entrepreneurship, culinary arts, business, and visual, and I think I said visual arts. And what happens with this program, students, African-American students in grades 9 through 12 can compete in up to 3 categories in AXO.
Okay, up to 3 categories, even though there are, 32 in all?
There are 32 in all. They can compete up to 3 categories. Yes, sir.
Ever growing, ever growing. Now, who's Miss Wilson? Who's a sponsor for the AXO program?
Well, as I stated, it's sponsored through the NAACP, but each local branch, but it's through each local branch. So Area 2 represents Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Portsmouth. And so we are, and each branch are the sponsors for the youth group.
All right, fantastic. And Reggie, I'm going to ask you this question. Explain the process from application to completion. How does that work?
That's an interesting process that we all, in all of our branches, we market this program to young people throughout the community, in our schools, churches, our communities. And what we do is we solicit those who are talented in these areas who are interested in participating. We gather them up. We create a package that we give to them, starting with the application and information about the program, about the categories, about the criteria for each of the categories, because as you can see from Lynette's response, there are many different, a variety of categories. So they each have their unique criteria. And from application, we have a panel that reviews those applications, and then we invite those participants who meet that criteria to participate in a local competition, which then from there we'll talk about the levels, and the gold winners can move on to the national competition. And we have various other activities within our units, but that is how that's the process for competitions.
Okay, well, since you mentioned levels, how does that work? Since you've already
Well,
mentioned it.
when we have a scoring system, and that's provided through the national office. It is based on a point system, and those points are broken down into areas where each category, the main focus areas of each category, for example, music, it could be musicianship, it could be technique, those things that apply to that specific genre. So what we do is we have judges, a panel of judges who are experienced in those areas, and we host an adjudication, and those students perform or showcase their work, and they are adjudicated based on the number of points. Now, the gold winner is really 95 points to 100. So it's very, very strict, very competitive. And so students really want to achieve as high as they can in that gold category. But we also have below that silver, which represents the next level of points, and then bronze. So that we replicate, as Lynette said, the Olympics, where we have 3 levels: gold, silver, and bronze, gold being the highest.
Okay. Now, the next question is for Jalen and Amirat. And before you answer the question, I want you to tell us, because you are participants in this program, so you know how it works for the inside under all that pressure. We don't have that pressure. You got the pressure laid on you. So I'm going to start with you, Jalen. Tell us what category you competed in, what level you reached, and then what are the benefits of participating from your standpoint?
All right, this is my second year in AXO. Last year, I competed locally in original essay and dramatics. I won gold in both categories, so I was able to advance to the national competition. And this year, I competed in poetry written, poetry performance, and playwriting locally, and then moved on to the national level and competed in poetry written and playwriting. And the benefits of participating are students are paired with coaches and mentors in their respective categories to help cultivate their specific talent or talents as they compete in their respective categories. It also serves as a venue to showcase their skills and their talent. And the local gold winner, as I said, will advance to the national convention, where there are tremendous opportunities for scholarships, tablets, to win medals. And the essay that I wrote last year, I actually used that for a school assignment where I received a very high grade on. So based on that mentoring and that coaching, I was able to apply what I learned outside of AXO. And also, last but not least, it encourages versatility. My academic focus is STEM. I'm a biochemistry major and currently making the transition to minor in mathematics. And all of my categories were performing arts and humanities. So you can see how it encourages students to think creatively and think outside of their comfort zone.
You know what, Amirat, before I get to you, all I can say, Jalen, is wow. Wow, that was impressive indeed. And you just rolled it right on off of there. Now, Amirat, same question for you. What are the benefits of participating? And before you answer that question, tell us your accomplishments within AXO.
This is my actually first year in participating, and I competed in painting. So I won gold locally, and then I moved on to the national competition, and I won bronze. So by participating in AXO, you gain a lot of experience to use in the future, and you also participate in practice sessions, which help develop your skills. If you place, you get to win prizes like money and even tech like iPads. And even if you don't place, you get a lot of feedback to help you improve and to help you help with if you decide on competing in the next year. And it also opens a lot of new opportunities. You get to be introduced to new colleges, and you can even win scholarship prizes, and you can win money. And in general, it just puts your name out there, and it doesn't hurt to participate. It's an all like fun, and you meet a lot of new people and amazing people that'll help you.
Okay, thank you so much. And Jaimira, this question is for you. What kind of feedback have you received that has helped you? But before you answer that question, again, tell us the benefits that you got as a participant in AXO.
Most def. And I would just like to say the benefits that I got participating in AXO would definitely be the community, because the local area too, like as you can see, you got Miss Sylvia, Miss Lynette, Miss Moore. They're like my second mothers now. Like they take a lot of time with you, and especially a lot of time with me with getting everything right. So I got a lot of love for them right there. And just the overall sense of diversity competitors is always. But that sense of community, and it's because they work with you, and it's a genuine work, and you can be able to grow with that. And like they said, it opens doors, and it really does, and not just in the academic setting, but in the cultural setting as well, which I truly love about it, because you enrich yourself in your local community. But then I know Amira didn't get this experience, but when Jalen and I went last year, we got to go to Detroit, and it was like hundreds of different kids, right? And each of them were so talented in their own right. And it was just being around Black people who are our age, who are actually pushing the boundaries on what is cultural and what is culturally prominent in Texas. And it was beautiful to be around that. So that experience with AXO there, you really just get a different perception, perspective of what the youth is actually doing. And it's really great, like being around it. Like, I can't really put it into words, but if you do get the chance to be at the actual convention, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it kind of it's a little bit bad because you can't see everyone compete, and like that's the thing, everybody is a master at their craft, and it's just really something that's just like wowing, and it's amazing, man. It's awesome, for lack of better words. And to follow up on your question about like, so what I got from it, and
Before you go on, Jaimira, hold on. Lynette, do me a favor and mute yourself. There's a lot of background noise going on back there.
okay.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
And then how they work with me would be very meticulous in how I can use it, because just looking at my own feedback from working with you, working with Miss Moore, working with Miss Lynette, working with Miss Sylvia, it's just they teach you, because I did oratory, and from the oratory that I did with congressional debate in high school is vastly different from the oratory I did with AXO, because with debate I was more so speaking at people about a topic for a score, but that score was just to impress certain judges. But when it came to oratory, the purpose of your oration is so that you impact people and you touch it. So you have to earn that score. I'm not saying I didn't earn my score with debate, but with AXO, it's like you have to understand who your audience is, which is something that I had a rough time with, which is in my first piece that I did, which is why I had to go back and redo it and sort of focus on that intergenerational gap that we had. And it really teaches you that you have to understand and analyze who your audience is, as well as when you speak. Because like you see now, I have this hand that's moving a lot, and one of the feedbacks was I need to have both hands moving. So just like that, gestures as well. I'm very dominant with a certain hand when I speak. So just verifying your gestures. And the feedback that I got from the national level was that I had to vary my tone. So working on that most definitely, and getting that. And I remember that I spoke with you with when we opened the piece, it was different variations in how we said sick and tired. And it was I'm sick and tired. And then I would have to variate it from we're sick and tired to variate that one from Miss Hamer was sick and tired. So the variations as well. And also just the originality of thought, because I was said to use too many cliches, which I wouldn't personally agree with. But tomato, tomato. But just saying that I pay homage. Some people call it cliches, things like that. But working it, but just getting the different feedback, because you can take, because most of the things were good, and the criticism is always constructive. It's never to beat you down. It's always to say, hey, you did great here, but this is what we can do next time, so you can build off of that. And it's really great because now I'm in like a collegiate setting where being able to be eloquent and and just being able to speak well is vital, because if you can't be able to communicate with anyone at this level, because right now the training wheels are off, and Axel prepared me for that. And now I'm able to like go into different classes and speak exceptionally well in a virtual setting, because that's what we had to do this year. So Axel definitely prepared me for that, to be in class and to be able to make that sense of, because when you're actually there in person, you can have that sense, that like physical connection with people, and it's a little more relaxed. But when you're looking at, like, if you're just looking at it from a screen, you have to make it a little bit more overt and sort of extend that branch to people. So that way, because it's very difficult to talk to someone over a screen, because it's kind of like, it's a screen, they're not really there. I can sort of half pay attention. It's kind of weird. Do I look funny in the camera? Why my hair like that? So you got to be able to extend it to them and just be like, nah, man, we cool. We're going to fellowship together. And with Axel, that definitely taught me that. So I would say what I got from Axel, besides the feedback, which was exceptionally helpful, was just the ability to actually learn how to be a better person when it comes to communicate, and truly enjoy that human fellowship that we have as people, in short.
And this is going to, in essence, help all of you throughout, not just AXO and participating in AXO, but this is going to help you through life. So the
Most definitely.
AXO program, one of the biggest benefits that I see in the AXO program, it helps you prepare for life, LIFE. And that's something that our young people too often don't get, that preparation before they're thrown out there. So I think with being prepared not only for competition, but when you're working with all of these different people, not to mention the people you meet along the way. And I really hope, Amirat, that you're able to experience that face-to-face, going to that national convention and meeting the thousands of other people just like you, with like minds, like minds, all going for the same thing, essentially. To our viewers out there, if you like this interview, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our Facebook page. And remember to leave us a comment letting us know who or what you would like to hear from next. We will do our best to get them on the air. We are live most days at 11 o'clock in the morning through Facebook. Sometimes technology just does not cooperate, and we're not able to do that, but we're going to get this to you somehow, some way. That's why we call these raw interviews. Now, Reggie and Lynette, and I'm going to start with you, Reggie. How has COVID impacted this year's competition?
Well, that's an interesting question, because we were all caught off guard with the impact of COVID. We were asked by National if we were interested in moving forward. And of course, we all thought that by July we would be able to participate in Boston this year. But as we were moving through the days and the months of from March forward, our local competitions were already scheduled, which we had to cancel because of students not being able to be in school, not being able to gather. And so we unfortunately had to make the administrative decision not to participate. As the information developed, that moved into a virtual setting, and the decision was made to do virtual. But by that time, we weren't able to submit and weren't able to interview and audition students appropriately. So again, we made the decision not to participate. But as Lynette continued to persevere, they moved into the area of a virtual competition. So I'm anxious to hear, and I saw some of it, but I'm anxious to hear as a leader what impacts and how you moved forward, Lynette.
Lynette?
Technology. Wow, that's what helped us out tremendously. And just the love of the program, we persevered. We actually debated as to whether or not to move forward as well. We had a conversation with the students, and Jalen was instrumental in us moving forward. We loved all of our students. We asked them, what do you want to do? One advantage we had is that we, as we stated before, it is a year-long enrichment program. So we had our kickoff. We had several enrichment programs. We had a base of students. So we just kept reaching out to them. And they decided they wanted to move forward. We actually had 9 who competed, and all 9 medaled gold. we worked them. They will tell you that. We
Yes.
had sessions just like this. Mr.
Yes.
Gates was part of our session. He worked with the people with oratory, and we had other people to work with them, and we just persevered through the Zoom links. We had everything online. We actually did our judges orientation online. The competition was online, and then we just sent everything to the national office. We called out the quarantine team, continued on throughout the pandemic. They just wanted to do it, so we just made it happen, and we're just so grateful that it did. There were some challenges along the way, but we always try to look at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. So, and just wanted to have that positive attitude. And we knew that these young people needed a platform, because AXO was a relief because in the quarantine itself, it is difficult, and it still is difficult. But this was an outlet for them.
Hey, now I would tell you this: COVID hit all of us by surprise, and none of us were prepared for this. And I'll even tell you from a Toastmaster perspective, we have 19,000 chapters in our organization, and we had to make the same decisions. Some decided to move forward, some decided not to. So whatever decision we made, it was a collaborative effort, and at the end of the day, we made the best decision for our particular situation. So where I commend all of you for whatever decisions you decided to take. Now, Glenda, I'm going to ask you, and then Sylvia, I'm going to turn to you. Share some success stories with us, because I know this is not your first ride in the rodeo.
No, it's certainly not my first ride. As a matter of fact, I've been with the AXO program for roughly about 25 years. And one of the most successful success stories for me is one that I share with my daughter. She participated in the AXO program during her high school years, and she won a silver medal nationally in the category of classical voice. She also won a bronze medal in oratory. Now, her goal was to become a professional opera singer. That's all she talked about during high school. And with AXO, having performed with the AXO group, gave her a good leeway into auditions that she had to have during her college to go to college. She was admitted to George Mason University, and that was her first choice. And then for her master's degree, the prestigious University of Michigan in their vocal department. After completing that, she was tapped by famous opera singer Placido Domingo to perform with his group, and the rest is history. She's today a professional opera singer, and she's performed in Italy, France, Switzerland, South Africa, and throughout the United States. Now, what we're AXO family is most proud of is her recent performance in February with the Metropolitan Opera in New York. Yay! And now I have to tell you that the tickets were quite expensive to see, so some of us weren't able to get to the Met. But the wonderful thing that happened was it was premiered on the silver screen. The local theaters had the Poor Again Best performance done there. And for those of you, or those of whoever, didn't get to see her on the silver screen, she was on television. The PBS channel televised it in July, and we got to see her, and it was quite amazing. Quite amazing. And I'm still proud, chest still stuck out, and I believe in AXO. As you know that one of AXO's slogans is, if you believe, AXO, I believe. I've seen the gleam in their eyes. I've seen the inspiring moments that they get. I see what they look like when they hear the thunderous applauses. And I believe. I'm AXO.
I'm AXO too. Now, Sylvia, are you AXO?
I am.
So.
I am most definitely AXO. I also have a success story to share regarding my daughter. And I think one of the things to really remember is that those of us who come back and volunteer, because this really is a volunteer service that the coalition does. When we come back and volunteer, it's because we have a true passion, a real true passion for the youth as well as their crafts. And my daughter actually participated in AXO throughout her high school years. She was attending Tallwood High School and as well as the Governor's School for the Arts. And she participated each year, and she each year won a gold medal. Her areas of participation were music contemporary as well as essay writing, and she would win gold medals and venture on to the national competition to compete, where she absolutely loved. Jaimir touched on this. I'm sorry, Jaimir touched on this, and he was able to talk about. I'm sorry, I got
Don't worry
distracted
about it.
because a call came in. But he touched on this because when you actually go to national, you actually get to network, as you mentioned, with like-minded students. Now, you may be thought of as, oh, kind of weird or whatever the term people use or fellow students use. But when you get to that level, on that national level, where you're competing with all these people across the United States, it really makes a big difference. And for her, it made a tremendous impact because she got to meet people that are still lifelong friends now. And what she did was, when she completed, she never won on the national level, but that didn't stop her from competing locally, because she always thought, I could. Well, one of the things that she did when we had some people competing and she had an opportunity to talk with some of the students, she shared what I never thought she looked at, but she shared how she looks at AXO is that when you compete on the local level, you really are a big fish in a little pond. When you get to that national level, you're a little fish in a big pond, and you really, really have to shine. So I think that was a real good illustration. My daughter had gone on to complete her degree at Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts, which is a premier contemporary jazz program. I honestly did not, I was surprised when she chose to focus her career there, because throughout her younger years, she was always performing and singing and dancing. She was considered a triple threat in Governor's School, which is the dancer, the actor, and the what else? The dancer and singer. So she went on and competed and applied, and she was accepted to Berklee College of Music, completed there. Disney recruited her. Actually, during her junior year, she was ready to stop college and perform with Disney. And I was like, absolutely not. If you want Disney, if that's what you want, you do it when you complete. And she did. She auditioned, and she worked with the Disney Cruise Line as a performer for several years, and was actually instrumental in working with them. Went on to Hong Kong, lived there for a year, and she performed as Nala in The Lion King, opening Disney Hong Kong. That was quite an experience, because here was her, actually she did do international studies with the Governor's School, Japan, but this was her first time in China, so she was really excited about that. But all of this, I think AXO laid the foundation, because it really helped her to become confident in what she did. Even though she didn't win nationally, she still became confident. Local winners are winners. You're a winner. Once you win on the local level, you are definitely a winner, because not everybody gets to go to that national level. So where my daughter is currently, she is a Broadway performer, which she absolutely loves. She was in Hong Kong for a year and decided that I'm ready for Broadway. And she moved to New York, and within 6 months, she actually, which is really almost unheard of. Within 6 months, she landed her first Broadway production. And not only that, she landed a principal role in Avenue Q, where she was playing Gary Coleman, which was kind of funny in its own right. She's also performed in, let's see, Hair on Broadway. She's performed in Sister Act, where she actually understudied the lead role, and in the 3 years that it was on Broadway, got an opportunity to perform at least 50 to 60 times in that premiere role. She's also performed in Ain't Too Proud on which was on Broadway, the story of the Temptations, as well as right before COVID hit, she had just started performing in a principal role in Company. And so now she's just kind of waiting for things to open back up to get back into that role. The other thing that she does, which she absolutely loves, is that she was tagged to perform a tribute to Whitney Houston. And so what she does is there's a local band that where they connect with different symphony orchestras across the United States and Canada, and they actually perform. She actually leads the show. She runs the show. I mean, she introduces all the songs, everything, with the symphony orchestra playing in the background, and she actually performs about 20 of Whitney's hit songs. So basically, that's another success story coming out of AXO, and we've got so many that we can talk about, but because we're two parents who are actually backed and involved in giving, I think that we kind of like to toot our horns a little bit with our own children.
Why not?
This is my sixth year I'm going into my sixth year as a chairperson with AXO, and I am absolutely loving it.
And it shows on your face. If I gave you another half hour, you could go on and on and on. I'm sure. Well, I'll tell you what, Jaimir, Jalen, and Amirat, the world is waiting for you. Indeed, AXO is a springboard to better things in life. And I will tell you, the reason we're doing this, the reason I was so adamant about having you on this program today, in this day and age, is so other people can understand the benefits of AXO. It's been around since 1978, but yet many people don't know about it. They still don't know about it. So I'm going to ask you, Lynette, how can people get more information about AXO, and what can they do to help volunteer and anything else that's associated with AXO? How can we bring this program to life everywhere?
If you would like to participate in the Area 2 AXO program,
I'm gonna get you in a minute, Reggie.
You can contact us at Area 2, the number 2, AXO Network at gmail.com, or visit our Facebook page and leave us a message there. Or you can go to the National NAACP AXO website and get more information. We will be starting up for the 2020-21 year in October or November. And as stated before, it is a year-round enrichment program. So if you want something for your young people to do that's culturally relevant and is going to get them into some good trouble, please send them our way.
Great. And Reggie?
And thank you, Lynette, for mentioning that. Of course, as these young people have mentioned, we have many accolades and video and pictures on the National AXO website. All you have to do is Google National AXO, and you'll get that page. If you want locally, the York, James City, Williamsburg AXO page is on our website as well. And we have a Facebook page, and we enjoy promoting this program for our young people because we have heard and we see the benefits of how it impacts positively our young people, especially our African American youth. And we just want to thank them, and we want all of our viewers and listeners to get involved by calling us, leaving us an email, and we'll certainly get back to you.
And for those of you who are listening right now that don't see a way where you can participate because you don't have kids, they are always looking for judges. There are 32 different categories. Each category has to be judged by more than one person. So if you do have a skill, some of you retired teachers out there, some of you the retired professionals or housewives, it doesn't matter what you do, you have a skill that can complement or help the AXO program. I'm doing something right now. I can't disclose what it is because it's secretive, but I'm coming across a lot of different people, and they're telling me that they are bored, whether we're in a COVID environment or not. They are bored because there's nothing to do. AXO is one of those things you can get involved in. It's not something you're involved with every single day, but we can all use your help, your expertise, no matter what your expertise, your skill sets are. We can use your help. We can use your help. So reach out to the AXO program. And again, AXO is ACTSO. That's AXO. It stands for the African. I'm not going to tell you what it stands for because it's too long and I won't remember it. But I will tell you, it's a wonderful program. It's been around since 1978. Thank you all for being here, especially Amirat, Jaimir, and Jalen. Anything you want, we got your back. And each one of us in these Brady Bunch boxes, we know other people. And we know people that can help you regardless of where you may end up in life. We will know someone that's there because life is all about building relationships and connections. And build a relationship. Lynette, you look like you want to say something.
I just want to say, and thank you, Mr. Gates, for your assistance with the program. We really appreciate it. Anytime we call on you, you are there for us. And as Jameer stated, he learned a lot, and I actually learned a lot. So we thank you for your love and your support for our young people and giving back the way in which you do. And we are always looking for financial support as well. As Sylvia said, this is a volunteer organization. We did not go to the national this year, but we still gave students some funds. So hopefully next year we will be able to go, but it's a volunteer organization. So if you would like to make financial donations as well, we will accept that.
I'm sure you will. Take care, everyone. Again, it's been a pleasure having you all on the program this morning. This will be, I'm sorry, we couldn't stream it live for whatever reason. It just didn't happen. But we are going to make sure this is posted to all of the social media platforms. We'll be sending it to you so you can get it out there and we can let the world know about the AXO program. Tune in, guys, tomorrow. For our guest will be Tina Sinek. She's the Virginia Beach Clerk of the Courts. If you want to learn more about what the Clerk of the Courts do, because most people haven't a clue, tune in tomorrow because Tina is going to share that with us. And remember to tell your colleagues, friends, and family. And remember, we're not global, we're local. Local Legislator Live at 11. I'm Charles Gates. Take care until tomorrow.